Hey everyone, welcome to Raging Recaps for episode 4 of Call of the Seven Rings. With us today, I've got Jez. How you going everyone? And Dave. Hey Dave.
Hey legends, how you doing?
It's been a pretty big week, pretty big session last week with Call of the Seven Rings. But before we get into that, a couple of quick shout outs and announcements. Obviously, would love to promote what we have going on with our giveaway coming up soon. Help us to get to 250 followers on Twitch and join us to
what
be
are we
in the
at
running.
now, Jez? What are we
Looking
at now?
a
Before we even get to the present, what are we at?
Looking at a little follower bar, which is one off. We are at 224 right now.
224. Not far to go.
Not far to go.
Not far to go.
So tell your friends, tell your mum, get them onto the Twitch and follow the Raging Rolls.
You know what? If anyone's mum comes and joins and jumps on as a subscriber or follower, I'll add an extra entry in just for that person.
That's excellent. There, you heard it from Dave first, right here.
There you go.
And what intro wouldn't be complete without a bit of a plug for our additional content we have available. Check it out. Check it out. There's going to be more stuff coming, but wrong one. At buymeacoffee.com/ragingrolls, you'll find additional content, additional extras, and additional ways to get involved with our game. You can get in there and look. Our DM of Doom has told us that Call of the Seven Rings, even though it's a world that has only known magic for 5 years, is going to be a very magic-heavy campaign setting for us. So you have the opportunity to jump on that Buy Me a Coffee page and help the DM of Doom design a magic item. Nothing's off the table right now. Other things you can do in there is create your own cocktail. We've already seen of session 1, Rafe created the now infamous fermented goat's milk cocktail, which is going to pop out for forever and a day. So get on the bandwagon, jump on board, check it out. buymeacoffee.com/ragingrolls. It's a bit similar to Patreon, the more common.
Like Patreon.
Yeah, except the caveat, or the benefit of Buy Me a Coffee is you don't have to subscribe for extra dollars a month. You can if you want to, and my God, we'd love it. But if you just want to get involved, support the show, and get your flavor in the game, you can do that as well. Oh, so I think that's everything there, Dave. Anything that I've missed?
Yeah, I think so. No, Bandit Shake's going to give my mum a handshake, apparently. That better be all, Bandit King. That's all I'm saying.
Excellent. Welcome, Bandit King. It's actually a fitting name, given we just went through episode 4, which kicked off with the bandit encounter.
Yes, midway through, just jumped straight back into it. And it was good. It was good to get back into it. And, it was interesting. In the middle of an encounter was where we started, and straight into a bit of RP is where we went. It was nice. It wasn't directly into a big combat round. It was straight back into the story. It
really was straight into it. And there was a couple of things which happened straight out the gate, which, happened because one of our players couldn't make it. But I think there's going to have some repercussions for us later, where we were taking on a bandit party of, I think, 15 or 16 different thugs. We clearly had the upper hand, and they were trying to call us to get slow us down so they could negotiate with us. They had a job for us to do. We could benefit from it. I don't think Ray had any of that in mind. He was hell-bent on seeking justice. And even though negotiations were about to commence, he took off after one of them.
Yep. Raya is very clear. I think it's going to be easy to deal with Raya. It's very clear. Evil is bad. Good is good. He will deal with good things, and he will eliminate evil things. So,
what's the morality here, though? Because I'm sure 15 thugs in a world that's hard to live in, I'm sure not all of them are bad people. They're just down on their luck. Got to make ends meet.
Sounds a bit like Dr. Evil's henchmen, waiting for a family at home. An evil guy who's just, he's working at the evil guy factory. That's all.
They're just people too.
They're just people too, right? Yeah.
So as long as they stay
Yeah,
off
just-
Harm's book, they're just people too.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Harm. So Harm, another Death Cleric. We somehow ended up with 2 Death Clerics in Campaign 2. Can't wait to see Campaign 3 where we end up with 3 Death Clerics.
All the necromancers.
All the Necros. Yeah, look, it's going to get very interesting as we get access to a few more interesting spells to be able to do some, reviving undead and stuff like that. But yeah, if you haven't caught the session yet, Harm is a Death Domain Cleric, and he has a little book from Anubis, his deity that he's aligned with, and Anubis puts names in his book for him, and whoever ends up in that book ends up dead. So far as 100% strike rate. We're very interested to see who arrives in that book going forward.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing how that plays out. And I as much as I don't want to see it, it's going to be really interesting to see when a name pops up on Harm's book that he can't take down.
Can't's an interesting word.
Or
I mean, I
yet.
might not be able to take him down, but there's a whole group that's with us. So, the as yet unnamed group. I think Finry's tried to name us a few times. Dan, if you're in the chat, it's got to come naturally. You can't force it. As unnamed group so far, there could be a little bit of political sway. Harm might get a little bit, in the back end, a little sneaky at getting people aligned to do what he needs to do if he can't kill somebody. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and we'll see what the repercussions of him taking off after one of these bandit characters is going to be.
Yeah.
Because shortly thereafter we did strike a deal with them for a heist of some kind, and this all came about because of Finry seems to know one of the bandit characters, one of them by the name of Jason. And that relationship we just don't know the full extent of just yet. I've just got an SOS from the next room, saying there's no internet, which is interesting because we're on the internet.
We're streaming. Yeah. Is it more Grey's Anatomy? Because all I'm saying is if you put a block on that on your social, then that's fine. Your
I
streaming
really should.
block that.
I don't know how to reply to that message.
Bring her in, get her on stream. Get her thoughts on campaign 2. It'll prove we have internet. Look, this whole initially, for those who've hung around from campaign 1 as well, there was a Jason in campaign 1, and I was very confused early on to whether or not to understand who this Jason was, because it turns out they're different people with the same name, which I thought was, maybe unnecessary. But then again, I also made a character named Carlos, just messed with the fact that we have somebody in the group now called Carlos. So I can't really speak for my own ability to make things unnecessarily complicated.
But did you really make a character called Carlos?
Mm-hmm. Harm's name is Carlos, if you go and read his backstory. It's his unofficial name. It's his unofficial name that he adopts when nobody no longer knows his real name. Because as far as Harm is concerned, real names are very powerful things. So as a way of kind of protecting himself, he keeps his real name to himself. And that's how he's able to know when serious stuff is happening.
Yeah, right, okay. Carlos, Doctor. Well, hang on. So is Harm the middle name or the nickname or what?
No, well, Carlos was removed. The name Carlos got dropped when Anubis renamed him. He used to be Carlos the Grave Cleric, and then when Anubis called him, he got renamed as Harm.
Right, that's right. Okay, got it.
Okay, mate, you look like you need a quick fire break. Do you want to hang for a second?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes. This everything's going. These beers are flowing freely and quickly. So, give us 2 minutes, team.
We'll be back.
Right back. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
I'm being told from spectators in the room next door that I am super loud. So I'm going to try and just keep it down a little bit and just get right into the microphone here. So lean in, Dave.
Sweet.
Lean
pretty
in.
Sweet. Just going to bring my headphones in nice and close.
That's it. Hopefully on the stream it's still coming through okay. It looks like it is.
We're getting...
But now, The thing's in the way of the beer.
How about now, babe?
Gotta talk super low and smooth. Right, so where were we? The bandit encounter, the encounter with Jason having a backstory with Finnery tied up somehow.
And well, we finally got the opportunity to just kind of hear a little bit more about that now that Raya had taken off, and we were convinced by Finnery not to slaughter the rest of them. Which did seem to be on, even though the numbers were not in our favour, we did seem to be taking them out quite quickly.
We really were. They weren't going to stand a chance much longer, although they might have taken Hector down with them. But that's another story.
Hey, what's Hector's AC? What's his armor class?
Like 13
Pretty
or
low.
14.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
with leather armor on, so I need to get decent armor.
Yes.
And also enchant it.
Yep.
Soon.
Yeah. Look, there's a few shield spells around the group. Maybe steer close enough for somebody to cast one on you as well. You get if somebody's attacking you type thing, you can get a reaction to cast a shield spell for a few extra AC.
I thought you could only cast that on yourself.
I have to double check. Could be. Could be.
Anyway, good to know. I imagine Hector's going to be sticking around the other casters up, in the backs, staying well clear. Right, so just on, Kronos is saying you can only cast it on yourself. I was trying to find a way to be able to cast a shield because I think that'd be super helpful. I don't think it's in the Artificer's spell list. Which kind of sucks.
Should have picked a less crap character then, just saying. Just kidding.
Maybe we'll have to talk and we'll just put Hector's name on the book and roll a new character.
Maybe Hector will try and steal his book. Yeah, see what he never thinks of that.
Kronos, I was just pop in my mind, like maybe talk to the DM of Doom and see if he can spin up some magic item, or someone in the Buy Me a Coffee link can spin it up for me. That'd be super helpful.
So, Shield of Faith, level 1 abjuration spell. Clerics have it. Concentration up to 10 minutes. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. I can do it as a bonus action, and it's within 60 feet. There you go. So as long as you're in 60 feet of me,
that's concentration.
Which is, 12 squares on the board. That's a decent amount of space.
That's a huge.
A lot of spells are 60 feet. As long as you're within 60 feet, if you look like someone's advancing on you, and I've got the opportunity to cast a bonus action, I could just pop a little bit of a +2 AC on you.
And I might just have to take you up on that. If that's something you've got at your disposal as harm, then I'll, as long as you're not in fighter mode and going hell for leather, grapple, stabby kind of action, then...
We'll trade shield for potion, that's all I'm saying.
Interesting. Let's see if we can work on that. So, let's go back to our past. We struck a deal with Jason and the crew. They took us into Ovolo to meet their head henchman.
Yeah.
Head henchman.
So that was
I don't know what you call it. Leader.
Hench lady, hench person, hench them. Oh, no. And we met said hench them and almost got taken out with a dagger to the face from an unknown bandit on the side of the room. That was interesting.
What? I don't remember that.
I think it could have been Finnery, maybe it was Flint. Somebody was getting a little bit of lip, and a dagger flew past somebody's nose. It was very, very close, because I think we were potentially underestimated what the room was like. So they put on a little show of strength, and we promptly agreed that was a very good strength show that they put on.
And we met. I'm going to try and pronounce this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Altalis Galanthaniel. Altalis Galanthaniel. I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation that DM told us, but an elven woman with gold skin and a shaved head was the description we got. who happens
Kind
to
of
be...
reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the gold people. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they had hair. Yeah.
That's very golden skin. I was picturing
Very
more
golden
tanned,
skin. Okay.
not leather tanned.
Okay. I kind of took it as like a, something interesting, like an actual goldenness.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Altalis had a job for us to go and steal a thing from a guy called Ryani Anger, who trades in, as I've written it down, protection. His name certainly doesn't sound a little bit less than friendly.
Yeah.
What I found interesting about this task that Altalis was laying down was that she really had no idea what she wanted. What do you think about that?
Well, wouldn't tell us is how I read it. I think that she knew. I think that it was information is power, and I think that it was information being kept close to the chest. Could have told us what it was, but decided to send in Jason with us. I thought that was a bit of a power move.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. We didn't want us to do anything that was wasn't supervised at this location. Or potentially there could be a double cross. This is what I'm wary of. So in our discussion, and we do a bit of session planning on the side just to make sure we're ready to go when the session starts. When we get ready to go, some of the talk that was coming from Rafe, which is played by Mark, our regular tabaxi in campaign 2. Mark thought that there was going to be a really difficult process to get out. Now, as far as I remember, that we hadn't tripped any alarms and there was a distraction in play at the time. So I'm wondering I wonder if Jason double crosses us. Runs out the door and locks it behind him before escaping with the item and calling down elements, raining fire. Maybe the idea of us going in, maybe the Bandit King doesn't like us. Maybe Dan, the bandit leader that we killed on the road was her mate or something, right? So, could be some double cross action. Could be the beginning of a great adventure. Unsure yet. But one of the things I think I've learned is that the DM of Doom definitely brings a bit of Doom with him, and he's got some tricks up his sleeve. As much as we think we're in control of things and we're doing crazy stuff, he is right there with some interesting things.
Yeah, he always seems to be one step ahead. And shout out to the someone that just contributed to our create an item in our Buy Me a Coffee page. That's going to be cool to see how that plays out.
Well, I wonder if that maybe was Kronos.
I think it might have been.
Smiley faces in the chat.
Get to Kronos. We'll get you in touch with the DM of Doom to sort that out.
That's okay, mate. I think we'll, if it was you, we'll get in contact on probably Discord. I think you're active in the Discord channel. And we'll get in contact to organise that. Looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
Maybe it could be something cool that helps maybe with Hector's AC. That would be interesting. Yeah.
He's hoping. I really need it. I need a way to figure out my AC. Because right now everything hits.
Even the aircon would hit at the moment, mate.
So we had to put together. So having been given the task of going to pilfer from the stores, this circular cache or this cache of stuff that Rani Anger has, we were able to go and have a snooze, but the snoozing was not for everyone, and our resident elf Asteria took it on herself to try to schmooze a bit more information out of Altalis.
I thought it was a master stroke. Just saying, right? We've got a limited amount of people who could take on this role, and she stepped up to the plate and absolutely hit a home run, sort of building that relationship a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was I would not have thought about it, especially when Finri tried to give her a wink and she was not interested whatsoever. For Asteria to step up and make it happen, and then do the role so well and get some information we needed, and it looks like we've made a friend there as well, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. I thought it was a really good, just out of game, a really good piece of role play and just scenario for Finnery to be in her ear, trying to help her, guide her, and unfortunately probably lead her down the wrong path occasionally, as Finnery would.
Classic Finnery.
Just a little bit too keen. But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting setup.
Yeah.
And the next day we were given the opportunity to have a look at a map that's the our Center crew had been able to figure of this mansion of Riani that we had to go and infiltrate.
Yep.
What did you think of the kind of clues or little bits of information that we're able to discern around, like every door is locked, every window is locked, you will not be able to get in that way, guards are out the front, guards are roaming around? What was running through yours or Harm's head at the time?
I was trying to think of a way to get us all in versus a way of getting someone in. Right, as we started to speak about, there's a lot of guards, there's a lot of things happening. So my thoughts were almost, well, who can we get in to get the item we've just on? Doesn't need to be all of us in there. Can we do something outside potentially to, ensure a safe escape and just give somebody the task of getting in? So I thought it was interesting that the team ended up coming up with this idea of, let's set up a distraction. If there's lots of guards and they're all very helpful, why not go and let them be helpful somewhere? And that, while there's lots of noise and things happening in stage right, stage left is us heisting, a little heist movie in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good in theory.
So,
it worked out.
It was good in theory.
It was a good idea. We crafted a fire potion, alchemist fire, which was good fun. We had Kronos, you're asking me the hard questions now. Proficiency bonus is 2, intelligence I think is like 17. So whatever that modifier is, plus 3 or 4. Anyway. So we got
distraction was set.
We got a distraction ready to go. We had our druid. Asteria's a druid, right?
I
druid
think she's a class druid, but maybe not a traditional druid in terms of the player that she's actually, the character she's actually playing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but she definitely donned the wild shape characteristics.
Yeah, and nailed that.
She turned into a mouse or a rat or something like that.
Mouse, ran it in there.
Went and set off through the alchemist fire at a wall next door to set next door on fire, because, we're all very good citizens. We like to set whatever we can on fire.
I'm seeing some recurring themes here. We set things on fire and we're the hobos.
Maybe that's the new tagline. We roll, we raid, we set things on fire and kill things.
Sets things on fire. All I'm saying is there's no traps to check for if you burn the whole thing down.
Just holes in the ground. True. I like it.
Oh dear. I still hope Dennis comes back one day. Anyway.
But yeah, so the fire was set and true to plan, all the guards ran off to try to help because they were just very helpful.
100%.
Much more helpful than us.
100%. At which point there was a spark of genius. It was good role play. I'll play that. It was good role play. It was just I think we were chatting about it. It was just a bad roll. So Dan was like, you know what? If this dude's distracted, he's running away. We'll make life really easy for ourselves. Let's mage hand the keys off this dude's belt. It didn't really work out that well. Did not work out that well. Could have been fantastic, but the roll was a bit harsh. The dice did not fall in our favor. But I think it was a great piece of roleplay. I
agree. I remember just all sort of hiding in the bushes there, and we all had a plan. Okay, let the guards leave, get in over the wall, and off we go. And then Finry's like, "I got this."
Yeah.
And completely balls it up. And then what? One of the guards was gone, and one of the guards was then alerted to us.
Yeah.
How do we get past him? Did someone put him to sleep, or did we just murder him as well?
No, we didn't murder the second one. I'm pretty sure we just murdered the one of them.
We
Yeah, I
murdered
think there
one.
was some sort of pushing away, like, maybe some go and fight the fire mind setting. I can't remember now.
Mm.
But yes, there was one more murder than potentially our stealth mission needed at that point in time.
Mm. So we have to drag that guy into the bushes, right? Out of the way, out of sight.
Hide him in
So
the
many-
bushes.
So many things have gone wrong. We're not even inside the mansion yet. But let's a thought experiment. If Finry had have lifted the keys, I don't know whether opening the front door or opening any door would have been any better for us, to be honest. Because we ended up running up a wall and basically scaling a wall to get over into a, I don't know what you call it, internal garden,
Courtyard.
courtyard.
Little courtyard. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that was the plan. And I think if we had have opened the front door, it could have been all sorts of hell going on in there. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that I think the plan was still the plan. Even if we had the keys, maybe the courtyard door would have been locked, or we had to do something else with keys. But I still think that was the way to go. Barging in the front door might have been an interesting way to approach things.
Mm.
But conveniently, as we approach the time to stop for a quick moon break in a moment, conveniently walked into a room with all the things in it.
We really did. We jumped down the courtyard. We found some lady there reading a book, and quickly
We didn't murder her.
we didn't
Just
murder
saying.
her. Tied her up, put her to sleep, shoved her in the garden. Everyone's just asleep in the bushes. See?
Yeah. We rage, we roll, we shove you in the garden.
But yeah, and we've managed to. What was weird, I think, is the door to that main room. That was the first door we found. It was the main treasure room,
Mm-hmm.
and it was unlocked.
Yeah.
But more
Very
on that
sus.
when we come back, yeah?
More in that when we come back. Yeah.
So listen, everyone, we want to go and check out the blood moon that's out tonight. Recommend you do too. I don't know if it's visible everywhere, but certainly in the east coast of Australia, that's where we are. We're going to check it out. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Talk soon. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a chance to check out the awesome blood moon tonight. Pretty amazing stuff. Very very cool to see it and talk through with the kids how it all works. All right. So where we left it, Dave, was
We just arrived in the room. The door was open. Yeah. Why was the door open? That's the question we're thinking about at the moment.
Good question. Who leaves the door to all the prized possessions open? But no one
Well,
hesitated.
Well, I mean, if you're just ducking out for a quick durry in the courtyard, don't expect a band of 5 or 6 people to pop over your roof, put you to sleep in the bushes, and head into the treasure room.
I guess she would have had to come
Yeah,
from
no?
somewhere. Fair point.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No one hesitated in getting straight in there and looking at the treasure, especially
Yeah.
our mate Jason, who was straight into it. But
Straight in.
let's
So for anyone on the call, we don't know what we're stealing. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it does. It's a bit of a close kept information. That's why we brought Jason. He will be able to identify it. That's all we know.
That's all we know. What it is,
So-
we don't know.
Yeah, we got some magical items. We'll talk about that in a sec. But we don't even know if we've got the item yet. We don't know if Jason's got what he needs so that we can leave. We don't have to traverse the house. So
Yeah, I'm guessing, and I'm just speculating here, that the item we seek is not in Jason's possession right now and is not in that room.
interesting.
Somewhere else in the house. And this
Interesting.
adventure through the house could take us more than episode 5 to get through, I'm sure. It looks like there was a lot of doors and a lot of space to try and get
Lot
through.
of drawers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, going to be interesting to see. Do we all go through the house? Do we split up? There's nothing as good as splitting the group, right?
No,
Uh,
never.
Do we all just traverse 5 or 6 of us in every single room? Is that the way to do it?
There are plenty of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, how do if Raya's around this episode, how do we get Raya into the room to search for this? For instance, could be interesting.
That's a very good point. Ray joins us this week. How does he get into the story?
Well, I'm sure the DM has something up his sleeve, but I'm also keen. There's a couple of loose cannons in the group. Like Malchus chats to his sword all the time. Like maybe the sword can tell us what it is we're after, right?
What's up with the talking sword?
So, hey, look, I look at my book all the time. So,
This is true. You don't talk to it.
Don't talk to it. No.
It doesn't talk back.
Brandon Nicholas, just the great and wise Nicholas. He just tells me what I need to know.
Yeah.
No need to question. Yeah.
Too funny. Oh, look. No, sorry.
Yeah,
go
mate.
No,
I was just going to ask, so we all rocked into this room. There was a bunch of chests. We all just went for it. I'm going to pick a chest and open it. What'd you get?
So I think the DM had us roll a D100, did he not? I think he did. So Hector pulled out, and I haven't quite sussed out exactly what this is just yet. But it was labeled as the Lure of Lifelessness, or Detector of the Dead, which is a ring. Now, the description I got was, when worn, you become a beacon for any undead around.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me as something I want to put on if it attracts undead, but if it lights them up, then that's a different story.
Interesting. I guess we're going to have to get near some undead and put it on and see what happens.
I feel like all these rings and different trinkets that Hector requires, he just wants to, melt them down and create something else altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, Kronos, I mean, if you're a squishy small dude with a very low AC, you don't want to be a beacon of people coming towards you.
You really
So,
don't.
yeah.
And
On the other hand, if we've got someone who can dig a trench, could just stand on the other side of the trench, have them walk towards you and mindlessly fall in the trench, in which case, burn them to the ground.
undead are dead, and then raise a new army. There you go.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
I'm keen to see if you're able to turn some of these with a bit of tinkering into amplification things. Like a ring of direct undead, where you can just focus them to go in a certain direction. That sort of thing. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It's going in the book. Ring of direct undead, as in control them rather than just summon them.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you got some guards and you want to distract them, you throw something over. You throw a rock to the side, right? I just muted myself with a pen dropped.
Right.
You throw a rock down the hallway and they run down the hallway to see what the noise was. It's kind of like that, but for undead, right? So you just kind of point it in the direction and the undead go in that direction.
Interesting.
Like a red dot on the wall for the Wraith. Starts swiping at the wall.
We need a ring of red dot. Laser dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kronos, just to answer your question, I don't know yet if it requires attunement. In this campaign, the DM has given us 5 attunement slots, and yet to discover whether it does. So far, the rings we've acquired don't require attunement, I don't think. But we shall see. And what did Han pick up?
So Han got a cup, which was, I think the whole group kind of went, well, what's going on there? For anyone wondering why we'd react like that, I lost my character. I had the first player character death. Last campaign, I had to re-roll, in which case we saw Xander come into play. But bit of a sore point. Zim was in the middle of a very bumpy railroad train sort of track, kind of coal mine shaft looking thing, and was using Mage Hand to hold a cup. And as we went over some bumps and jumps, the Mage Hand dropped the cup, and this cup touched Zim, and Zim disappeared into the past, and was gone forever, along with all the answers to a lot of questions that might have come for various characters in the game. And so when my player got a cup out of the chest, it was a bit of a sore point. I was like, well, hold on, you're not going to blast me into the past, are you? But I did not get blasted into the past. The cup has some cool properties. So if I put some liquid into the cup and pray on it, it becomes a blessed liquid, which is pretty cool. And then if I drink said liquid, my eyes glow. So, I've essentially got an endless supply of blessed liquid in case you need anything for your tinkering.
So let me get that straight. So any water you throw into this cup is instantly blessed?
Not instantly. I have to spend a minute praying to it. So praying to Anubis in front of the cup becomes blessed. The water inside becomes blessed.
It feels like you're just making death water right now. Anubis, the god of death, you're making just water bombs.
Yep. So we can get you to turn them into some sort of awesome water pistol.
Yeah.
We are done. Or if anyone has spells for control water, I could, hook them up with a lot of death water, that they're then able to control water and blast to the other side of the battlefield potentially.
But then you have to cart around a ton of death water.
Well, I mean, if I've got a really big container, I just get a keg, fill my keg with death water over the weekend, and just cup by cup, put it in a bag of holding.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. Maybe I can just run, like, instead of getting the whole keg out of the bag of holding, I just get like a hose out and just blow that bad boy out with a hose.
Just need to put a tap on the bag. You know, I've seen that. I've seen a handbag with like a goon tap on it.
Love it. Super classy.
I wish I hadn't seen it, but I have.
Flemington Races? Was it at Flemington Races?
It wasn't. It was actually at a school, at a parents' function. It was so bad. It's like, what are we doing here?
Oh wow! Was that when you lived in Brisbane, mate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Brisbane. That's DM Doom stuff right there.
So, I did capture what other people got. Did you write down what other people managed to acquire?
I did not write everything down, no. Some interesting items. So these weren't particularly like, +1 weapons that we got in our first round. They were more interesting flavor items, which were kind of cool.
Yeah. So I wrote down that Rafe, Raffaele de Roxo,
our regular resident tabaxi.
Yeah, can see someone that's poisoned. So anyone that's poisoned shows up as like a ping for him. Hey, Izzy, welcome.
Izzy in the chat. For those who don't know, Izzy is a regular friend at Nat 30s who's been a guide for us in the game recently, the character Izzy.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, jump on and buy me a coffee and become a character. You're welcome to do it.
Yeah, 100%. We've got an inflatable cat in the game. Keen to see who else appears in short succession.
An inflatable cat in the game helps to serve the fermented goat's milk, right?
Yeah, at the chili. The
chili weasel canteen. Finry got an interesting one. Findy got a what was labelled as the Wand of Frog Touch, which allows him to cast a touch-only spell from a distance. Because he fires a frog at it, basically.
Not a big distance. It's like 15 feet, right? So not huge, but it means if there's somebody that's really close to him, he can potentially put a healing spell or some sort of damage spell onto them without actually having to be in touch range. So if you're not in touch range, you also don't have to do a attack of opportunity or spend your time to engage to get out of that range. So it could be an interesting spell.
Might be worth negotiating for that one, since Finry isn't much of a caster, I don't think.
Get close, drop a spell on them, and get out.
Yeah. And I wrote down that Asteria managed to get bottled love, or an aphrodisiac, which is going to be amazing.
That's going to be very interesting, considering that she's already been in the flirting seat once so far this game.
Imagine, I can just see what, should we be successful in this heist, we take back whatever we've got. Yeah, maybe there's some future jobs we can position ourselves to acquire things for, or whatever the case might be.
Depends if Ray tries to burn down the bandit's hideout or not. Yeah, I think maybe we could, maybe there's going to be some love potion on him, and he was going to fall in love with the bandit queen. Then he won't want to kill her. Maybe that's what we do with it.
Oh, good one.
Again, maybe you can tinker with it and reproduce it.
Oh, my brain can't work fast enough to think on these things, but I will. I'll have to do that. Anyone who's watching the chat who gets ideas for stuff that the alchemist, the artificer can create with whatever we have, let me know, because I'm short of ideas.
Here's the cool thing, is that with the artificer in the DM's world, it's a DM's world, and he seems to be quite open to some of this stuff. So, I'm cool to see some tinkering roles and how he's going to play that out, but I'm excited for the opportunity to potentially make some really cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And then with the chest, we also managed to get 100 gold each, total of 1,200. I think that's where we left it, right? We are with item and with no way out just yet.
With item and no way out. And my understanding is no alarms yet. No alarms yet. And no confirmation that Jason has the right item.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. We don't know what he's got yet. Well, that'll be the first point of conversation, I think, is do we have what we're here to get? I'm actually... Look, Hector's pretty keen for a magic item or two. He's pretty keen to find out, all the different things that the world has to offer to try and craft and solve his own backstory. I'm pretty keen to see what else this house might have in store for us.
Well, I mean, if it's got a house full of magic stuff already, we've just walked into one room. What else in the other rooms?
Exactly.
Or, I mean, if this is some cool stuff, what's protecting the cool stuff? Did we catch Nana off guard in the garden, having a quick hit on the glass Barbie, or did Nana actually be some sort of badass witch that we just got the jump on, and we come out later and she's going to be upset with us? In which case, yeah, we've got to have some issues getting out.
We are going to have some issues getting out. There's no doubt about that. I can't imagine we've been given all this cool stuff without a fight just yet.
See what happens. See what happens.
See what happens.
So, but could be some interesting ways to escape. I'm keen to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
We're creative getting out. I think we can be creative getting out. Maybe we get back up on the roof. Maybe we scout out a location with a quick jump from the roof down and back into the forest. Maybe we just make an even bigger distraction, pop up on the roof and throw some fireballs over on the other house and make the fire get even bigger and escape out the darkness of the other way.
Sounds ambitious. I don't think any of us actually have fireball or anything that.
Hey, look, let's not get too far into it. We're
create distraction. We'll just, throw a holy hand grenade and off we go. Oh my god, I need to make a holy hand grenade.
Holy hand grenade. Well, if you got holy water.
If you got holy water.
Supply.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying is if you haven't subscribed yet, right? If you haven't subscribed yet, or if you haven't hit follow yet, hit that follow button. It's going to get us closer to the giveaway for Van Richten's, whether you want a digital version in D&D Beyond or if you want a hard copy for us to send it to you. Do that, and then also when you hit subscribe, put some details in the chat about what we should be getting for Jez to make. What are some really cool things that we can tinker with?
Yeah, nothing's off limits, right? You get super creative. We have a
you roll high
enough. No, we have a wand of frog touch, so anything's possible. Excellent, and we're back again next tomorrow, right? 8:30 p.m.
Is it Thursday yet? Well, it will be in a couple of hours. So,
it will be.
Yeah.
We did a last minute. Oh my god, is everyone's character sheet ready to go? Quick, get it ready. And it's going to be good fun.
Yeah. So the DM let a bunch of people, and when we hit level 4, there was a bunch of people who got some really cool stuff. Some people picked up a new feat. Some people picked up some extra points, but because I'm 2 and 2 with my character, I'm split between fighter and cleric. I'm actually waiting for that next few levels to come up. So, it'll be interesting as those character sheet things kind of come through, as we kind of level a little bit differently with some multi-classing going on from a few different characters, how that plays out. Yeah, so I've got to wait a few levels till I get my proper vampiric touch and raise undead type stuff. But at the same time, I get some action surge and a few other cool things from the fighter. That was worthwhile going it early.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I wonder how long it's going to be before we get that next level, because that's going to be a big one for these multi-classes.
A lot of players, yeah. Well, it's going to be a big one for a lot of the straight class players who have just gone down one character, one class, right? So that 5th level opens up a lot of things. Barbarians get a second attack. Wizards get access to 3rd level spells. Those sort of things open up. 3rd level spells is some fireball action, right? Fireball has caused a bit of drama for us last time. The first time it got used and killed a couple of civilians.
It really did. Open up a whole Pandora's box of things. I'm torn, actually. Did. I've been thinking about this a bit, whether Hector goes up to level 5 as a artificer, or he's quite taken with his connection with Finry, and he's quite enjoying stealing shit. So he's tempted maybe to take a level of rogue.
Yeah, interesting.
But he's not an unlawful character. Like, he wants to play by the rules. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that.
Yep, could be very interesting. Maybe you make some alliances I mean, maybe that's what you do, is that you make alliances and you've got some people collecting items for you on your behalf. You're not breaking the law, you're just buying goods that are. Right? Maybe you can convince somebody at the Bandits Guild to get a few items for you, however they need to. And, got a couple of 100 gold, surely that can buy a few items. All right? Maybe you need to get a little wish list together.
That's the thing. Yeah, I absolutely do. But chat, I need help. What do I put on that wish list? What do I put on that wish list?
Yeah.
I can just make stuff up. What do I make up?
It'd be cool to do a stream one night to talk about tinkering, just to straight out, just spend an hour, coming up with ideas, coming up with some wish list items.
Yeah, it really would.
The other part of that is, taking something to the. Hey, get the Dice Casters. Thanks for the stream, hosting us on the stream with one viewer. Love it.
Hey, Legends, hello. Welcome.
New friends. Yeah, look, it'd be cool to do a little stream and talk about tinkering, talk about all the cool items we might get to. But I think one of the things is, what are we going to do with those items, right? Like, that's going to be something that's interesting, because it's all good and well and good to have a whole bunch of ideas, but if it's like, shoelaces of vomit, you've got to put the shoelace in someone's boot, and then if they roll in that one, they vomit. Like, well, I mean, it's cool, but maybe not the most practical thing to spend our tinkering time on.
Right?
It could be some sort of smoke chain, right? Like, some sort of chain that when somebody throws a weapon, they can bring it back, right? Something like that. Don't know. Could be some interesting things like that.
What has happened in the chat? Yeah. I hear you, and I think I'm being an artificer. I want to create whatever crazy stuff I can.
Yeah.
But then anything which is like, oh, that's no use for us, it's just going to be sell for gold. Or, I don't know, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm keen to see if you maybe strike up a bit of a theme, right? So are you going to be someone who creates interesting battle things? Are you going to be someone who creates a lot of potions and go down like a tinkering alchemist? Are you going to be boosting type person, or are you going to be a destructive person and take down the foes? Yeah, I mean, you could be the guy who creates a fart cloud or a vomit cloud or a blindness cloud, and your thing is all these clouds, and you throw your little thing down the hallway and it erupts with a little cloud of stuff. I feel like you need to go back and watch a whole heap of wide and varied action movies and be like, what cool magical stuff did they do?
Yeah, no, definitely cloud potions. Oh, look, I've had some ideas about those kinds of things, but cloud potions, brilliant. Yeah, look, I want to go down the utility role, and I've already tried to craft a few things for people here and there. The difficulty at the moment, until we, I think, as players and characters find our groove, is right now everyone feels like just wants to go murder shit, and Hector needs that opportunity to craft things and give it to someone for a purpose. Right? I think we'll get there. But right now, he's just crafting a few things, giving them away where it makes sense, but holding on to a few at the same time.
Yeah, interesting.
Kronos, give us your ideas, man. Send them into Discord so we don't lose it later.
So when you roll, is that an ability check?
To do the potion
crafting
thing?
and tinkering? Yeah.
There's two different things. As an alchemist, I have a feature called Experimental Elixir, which...
Yeah.
Once a day, I can roll a d6 and randomly something is created, right?
Okay.
Or I think I can expand a spell slot and craft the specific thing I want out of those 6 options. And then for crafting things, it's up to the DM. If I say I want to build this, and I think the DM will say, or have a idea in his head of how complex that's going to be, how difficult it is to make, and then it might take 1 roll, it might take 3, it might take a couple of days, who knows. There's a few...
I reckon...
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're rolling on stuff, you should definitely have myself or Rhea or maybe Asteria with some guidance, just an extra D4 that you can roll when you're tinkering, especially if there's a couple of clutch things that we're very keen for you to build. That sort of extra help might go a long way.
So I think then... Oh, thanks for the follow.
Oh, there you go.
Pit and
Pint
pie?
and pie.
Pint and pie?
Pints and pie.
Pint and
I'd
pie,
love a
missed the
pint
end.
and pie.
Pint and pie.
I
Perfect.
didn't quite get a full pint tonight, just a couple of bottles. Yeah, there you go, guidance. Yeah, you're straight onto a Cronus. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, a bit of guidance on your rolls. You've got a few of us around that surely one of us can be with you, speaking to a deity on your behalf to give you a little bit of guidance.
It's just going to have to be set up the situation, talk to someone in character around, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm going to go do it now. Like, if you feel like helping me, come and help me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But don't forget, anyone in the chat on the night, or even at any point in time, you can use rage points to give a blessing to a character of your choice. And the more points you spend, the more extra D rolls you get, right? D4, 8, whatever, 12, and even a 20 you have available, which go in addition to whatever you roll.
Yeah, everyone in the chat tonight would have been earning some rage points. And, the other thing you can do is you hit subscribe and get access to a couple of the interesting emojis that we've got as well, emotes.
The more subscribers we get, the more emotes we will unlock. But yeah, Alchemist, I'm excited to see where it goes. And as you know, I didn't even think about what's coming in level 5. I need to get some more infusions built, that's for sure. Help out a few more people.
Yeah.
Certainly
Yeah, look,
myself.
I'm keen to see the +1 weapon and how does the +1 weapon work with the rings that are to kind of make the weapon appear at any point in time.
It all stacks. I mean, no, sorry. So it'll be +1 on the ring weapon, or +1. I can only +1 a specific weapon, not every weapon you carry.
Sure. But can you +1 a ring that turns into a weapon? That's my question. So it's not like I'm holding the weapon.
Not up to me.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't
if
see why
you're
not.
out there watching this, DM of Doom, we'll take your silence on the matter as an agreement that we can do that until we hear such other words. Yeah,
This is a weapon, right? We got a bunch of weapons. I can
That's
+1
it.
a weapon, make it so.
done.
But I can
Sweet
also
plus
+1
some
like
armor.
a spell weapon. So
Oh yeah.
that's easy too. Hey,
Hey,
Naked
Naked
Wookie.
Wookie.
Thanks for the follow,
Loving
man.
it.
So yeah, it's all good times with the Alchemist at the moment. And at level 5 for harm, you're going to go to 3rd level cleric, right?
Yeah, I'm going hardcore cleric. Yeah.
Hardcore
So
cleric.
two fighter. I was two fighter, 1 cleric, and now I'm going hard cleric for the rest of my levels for a while. Those 2 levels in fighter really just gave me some sweet things. 1 for the RP and 2 for the survivability. So yeah.
It's interesting because normally you think cleric, you think a bit more hands off, stay away from the action, and you just take it 2 levels of fighter and turn that on its head.
Yeah, Death Domain is all about getting in there. You know, Vampiric Touch is about holding someone's skull as the life force just drains out of them and makes you feel better. So that's kind of what I keep build the character around. Just that idea that I'm right in there, I'm squeezing my finger into an eyeball, and then as there's their lifeless corpse on the ground, I call them back to fight for me.
But we're not a bunch of murder hobos. No.
No.
All for
not at
death
all.
for a reason.
Death for a reason. Look, all I'm saying is don't have your name appear in the book. That's all I'm
This is
saying. Right?
Absolutely.
That's exactly right, Kronos. Why would I, try and heal if I can hurt them first? But that's very much my story, is being in the middle of it, literally taking names and kicking ass. So.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It'd be interesting to
forward to
see. I wonder if who else is multi-classing at the moment.
Ooh, I think there's a few. Some arcane trickster actions. Not sure if that's multied or not. I think Rafe is. I'm not sure if Rafe is multi. I know he's a rune knight fighter, but I think that might just be the class of fighter he's playing. I don't know if he's got any extra spells.
Do you know what? I think it's in our intro, which plays at the start of each session.
Oh, well, there you go.
So we should watch that. Jump on, have a look.
We should. Just play that at the end as we go out.
I should. I thought about that. I might make it happen because it is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it.
You got a couple of buttons on your stream deck to make that happen.
I can make it so. It so.
Look at you.
Can't do it right now.
Well, we might wrap it up and head to that outro. Thanks heaps for our new followers tonight. Fantastic to have you on board with us. Who do we have? We've got Pint and Pie and the Naked Wookie. Hopefully you'll be able to come and see us tomorrow night. And we're excited to kick on with the new episode tomorrow night. That's starting about 8:30 in Campaign 2, Raging Rolls.
Just keep chatting for a second while I get this set up. But yeah, Campaign 2 tomorrow night. You're right. Raging Rolls episode 5, the escape from the heist.
That's
and don't forget, a bunch of different ways to support. Thanks for the followers this evening. Don't forget, you can always subscribe. That's super helpful for us as well.
And there's
giveaway.
24 to go. Thanks, Dan. And there's 24 to go there, Super Dan. You're right, mate. Not many at all. Yeah, look, super excited for that.
Intro, once we hit 200, sorry, not intro, I'm looking for the intro. Once we hit 250 followers in our Twitch stream, we'll be giving away either a digital or physical copy of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Our own Super Dan has been reading that and he reckons it's absolutely amazing.
Hey, the other thing that people have been reading.
Yeah.
On here is this plays in the background? Always played. Mate, you've been running some Candlekeep mystery action.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I got on there with a couple of guys from work and ran a Candlekeep mystery session, level 1 campaign, which was really interesting to run, really fun to run, especially with a couple of people who haven't played D&D for a long time, or some of them not at all. It was good fun, man. It was really good fun to DM it, even to set up the whole map and get everything sorted out. Kudos to our DM at Doom for building the map for us.
And I was going to say, where we got these new maps? Well, we're on Foundry, and a big thanks to Foundry for their support for the Raging Rolls. It's been fantastic. We made the jump to work with them for Campaign 2, and it's been fantastic. The quality of the maps, the line of sight things that are going on, really enjoying it and looking forward to getting to know the platform, but even more and more. So going to be hitting up YouTube for a couple of videos around how we can be a little bit better on the platform and unlock some more of its fantastic features that we've got there.
Yep, it's going to be amazing. But I think we're ready to go now. So look, we'll head off. Don't forget, tomorrow night, join us again, 8:30 p.m. Sydney time, as we kick on with episode 5 of Call of the Seven Rings. Dave, thanks for hanging out tonight.
Thanks, Jez. We'll see you all next week on the Dave and Jez show, except I won't be here because I'll be away, but, somebody else will be here for sure.
Someone will be here to join me for sure. Thanks, everyone in the chat.
Sure.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Steve, in the chat.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.